I'd love to hear from you. Well, I'm going to tell you, this is how we roll. I was in Vancouver, BC, trying out for the BC Lions, sitting on my helmet, and Johnny Rogers was over here, and Jimmy Jones was quarterback, and some of you older fellas, you know who these guys, Johnny Rogers was the Heisman Trophy winner. And I'm sitting on my helmet thinking, well, I'm from Elmhurst. we didn't win very many games. What can I do that I'm good at? Because these guys were leaving practice and going in and lifting weights. And I thought, oh, God. And then I met a Samoan. I'd never seen a Samoan. And there were no Samoans in Fort Wayne. And so and these guys were muscular and they were big. So I had to find something that I was good at. And when I went back to my roots as a gardener, a farmer, you know, my relatives were farmers in Alabama. They owned about 140 acres. So I look back on that. My grandmother would have flowers growing on the porch. She would recycle pots and stuff like that. And I started saying, well, maybe gardening is what I ought to be doing. And then I started researching. Some people think, well, yeah, he can garden, but he don't know what he's doing. But they don't know that I research. I read. I read about the plant before I plant it. So when I became a conflict mediator at Maplewood School, I tied the two together. And I talked to the kids about diversity, and I talked to them about getting along and working as a team. And so as time has gone on, I've tried to keep things simple, and we've worked as a team. So it's really hard for me. Now, if you would have talked to me 5 years ago, oh, I'd accept this award and say, yeah, I did everything. It was me. Oh, man, yeah, I did it. But there's no way that you can convince me that it's me. Because after being here at the church and working in the fields and fellowshipping with the congregation, you see, because I'm surrounded by the congregation, I know it's not me. So in the audience here, I can tell you that the Fort Wayne Community Fishing Club supported the garden financially before we were able to get any money. I can tell you that there's one person among you that sent me $5,000 and she had never met me. And it goes on like that. And then I can tell you that there's one person among you that bought a tractor, an Alice Chalmers WD-45 for us. And it goes on and on and on. And it started with relationships. Because while I was a case manager at Maplewood School, the church here bought every child at Maplewood School a new coat. And I had to tell them, I said, well, Pastor Dave, that's a whole other story, being Pastor Dave. But I said, Pastor Dave, we don't need those new coats, just give us a used coat. And they just kept churning them out, kept pouring it on. And so every child in the school had a coat. So that's why the kids would come to the garden and they would pick the vegetables from the garden and take them home. We had a relationship with the church. And then I wanted the kids, I tried to teach them something simple. Pass it on. If someone's been good to you, then pass it on, keep passing it on. And so here I am at Fellowship Missionary Chruch, continue to pass it on. And they're going to say, well, hey, you can stop now. You can stop now. But, we've got an 80-year-old, I'm not going to call any names because I'll forget someone. I'm forgetful. We've got an 80-year-old among us that's the tractor driver. We prayed for the Oliver 1755. Someone gave us $5,000. We put a story in the newspaper. The Oliver shows up. We buy it. And now that individual, I don't drive it. The 80-year-old drives it. And you'll get a chance to meet him, but I don't drive it. And I can't keep up with it. So if you see the fields, you'll see that they've been plopped down. And he's been working. He tells me what he's been doing. So this truly, people, is a team effort. I can't stand in front of you and say otherwise, because I've had too much support. My family, my wife, they're all saying, if you talk to my wife, she's going to tell you, well, he lives over there. I know where he is. He's over there either underneath one of the tractors or he's looking at their plants. I don't know what he's doing over there all the time looking at their plants. But I'm checking for insects and things like that. Now, we are proud to work as a unit. There's a gentleman among you who brings us baskets. And those baskets, we deliver our produce to a women's shelter, a nursery school for small children, and on and on and on. And you know what's really interesting is there's sometimes in the summer when you can visit the houses in the area and they're eating green beans out of the garden. I know for sure because I was at a Burmese house and she says, "Ooh, look at this." And then she said, giving me the idea that it was from the garden. So we're putting our tentacles out into the neighborhood. I also, my sister and her daughter are over here, and they're the pea pickers. A couple years ago, we had fields full of peas, purple peas, and they turned into the pea pickers. I think they had a really good time. And then we've got a person over here who is actually the how can I say? She laid the format for large-scale hunger relief gardens. She laid the format for that. And I kept telling her, this is going to be big. But you know what we've done? We've just kept chugging away. We're like the little train that could. We've been like the little train that could. We've seen adversity. We've experienced weather change. And Warren, I did mention the names. Warren will tell you that we conference about the weather and how things are changing, and so, but that's all trial and tribulation. It's all a lesson. You know, when you really think about it, having a garden is one of the biggest lessons that each one of us needs to have one. And then each one of us needs to give some of that produce to people. And what I do is I tell them, sister, these are the best greens you will ever eat. And they come back saying, "Oh man, Mrs. Smiley, I need some more of those." And I'll try to deliver. But we should all have a garden. I like to say that I'm just a poor dirt farmer, trying to get a crop to grow, trying to get some things to happen. But there's just magnificent things that have happened to me. And I think when it's called perseverance, and when we can show children perseverance, then they learn something. So one year we had a drought. And I think the church body, they looked at me and they wondered, well, what is he going to do now? Well, we had this 80-year-old named Warren jump on the tractors. And so as Warren was plowing and getting the field prepared, and this was late in the year, I said, well, Brother Warren, we're going to have one of the biggest fall gardens that we've ever had. And I went to it. As he was straightening out the fields, I started planting. And we planted, I don't know. Even he looked at it and said, I don't know how you did it. But I just did it one field at a time, 1 2-acre field at a time. And we planted it. So then we try to teach children there's no task too big. Break it down. Work as a team. We try to teach the community, work together. We try to teach the team, don't blog too much. Don't be on the internet all the time. Chris. That's my son. Chris is a tractor driver here. But I told him, don't be on the internet all the time. Let's get something done. So we're workers. We're faith in action workers here at Fellowship Church. We would rather, Warren would rather turn the key than to blog and talk about what we're doing, and talk about what happened last night, all this other stuff. We would turn the key. He'll report back to me, well, we got a leak or something, we got to get that fixed, and got other issues. And then there's a fellow sitting in the back there. He came over with us when we came from Garden, right down the street from here. we transferred from that garden to this garden, and he came over, and he was running a drug rehab facility, like a shelter. And he came with me, and he said, you know, I got to get into this gardening. And he developed, and we're going to rekindle his relationship with the Amish. He developed a relationship with the Amish that, put it like this, we went to a meeting with the Amish one night. It was like 5 below zero, and the room was full. The room was full of people. They had driven their wagons in, and they wanted to hear what he's got to say. So the church has a way, the garden has a way of connecting people from a variety of different backgrounds. This year, we're going to expand on our relationship with the Amish. We're going to expand on our relationship with the Burmese. Now, we'll be growing some Burmese vegetables, and I love repeating this. We're growing some boudin, okay? Boudin. Now, that's not some really strange kind of, it has no implications other than it's acquired taste plant. Now, we had 50 students that were Burmese at Lakewood School, so that's how I got introduced. So I guess the first thing I should have told you when I came up here was Mingala, that is hello in Burmese. Mingala, Nikama. So I would sing that to the kids when they came in on the bus. But we'll be growing Boothie, Chamau, Kayumbi, different things like that. And we're going to actually have Monica, we're actually going to have a farmer, a Burmese farmer. Your idea, not mine. We're going to set up a Burmese farmer, and he's going to grow this on a large scale. Now, I tried to grow Chamau, and his Chamau, he outdid it. His Chamau was like that, and mine was like that. We said, well, he's the man. We'll bring him in. So, I didn't mention you by name, but I did. And so when we have our little reception after this, you will be able to meet each other, and you can say, well, yeah, you're the guy you're the person, you're the woman that bought the tractors, you're the woman. But you know, what you've done to me, all of you, you've given me good counsel. I didn't do this alone. And I would never stand up in front of you and say that I did. Because what individual would drive to Ohio, would tell me, you need a better tractor, would purchase the tractor, and then come back and restore it to museum quality. Yeah, and then give me the key. I gotta pay for it, but give me the key and say, well, use it. So we're all working in unison. And then I'm gonna start to wind down now. People say I talk a lot, but I'd love to turn the key and get the tractor running and work a lot, as my family will tell you. Church of God, Seventh Day. Church of God, Seventh Day. They speak Spanish. And we have Spanish-speaking people. They're teaching me Spanish while I'm out there working with them. And they adopted the garden and worked, worked diligently and were committed for 3 years. And so we want to reach out to the churches, reach out to the youth, reach out to the youth centers. This next year is going to be a different year. We're going to sell the garden by selling participation in the garden. We want to fill their freezers up. And so I thank the Church of God, Seventh Day, for their help. They wanted to exercise, and then they wanted to eat healthy. And we've had healthy eating picnics, and they've really been well attended. So next year we're going to have that. This year, the weather played havoc with us. Warren was there. My son Chris was on a tractor when we were trying to plant our fall garden. But don't you know, I said, well, it won't rain anymore. We won't get that heavy rain, that pounding rain that pounds clay. But it did. But it rained twice. And after it rained twice, Chris told me, says, well, maybe we ought to start hauling compost. And I'm going to get my truck fixed and we'll start hauling compost, getting ready for next year. So everything about the garden, it teaches you you're on a schedule, You have duties to do now. Fix your equipment in the summer. In the winter, so it'll be ready in the summer. And get ready to get started the next year. Get yourself together, get ready to get started. Look at your forecast. So I'm standing in front of you, but Dave is not here. Dave is from Woodburn. And so the stories go on and on and on. Woodburn is about 30 miles from here. And Dave Hartman was driving on his tractor here so that he could plow the garden for us. Now, come on now. 30 miles, you're driving a tractor to plow the garden. Yeah, and he could do that. Not only did he do that, he was managing part of the field, and the church gave us all of it, and Dave said, okay. But he would come back and bring his tractor 30 miles out and plow it up for us. Mutton's equipment. I broke everything. Warren was going to tell you in the reception. Yeah, I broke everything 2 summers ago. And Mutton equipment said, well, we got a diesel for you. We got a John Deere. And we used it. But here's what we've done. And then I'm going to wrap it on up. I hope. Cheers and jeers. There's a column in the newspaper, and occasionally you'll see me put something in there thanking someone. And so I try to teach children to say thank you. And so with the cheers and jeers, we thanked Muttons. We said nothing runs like a deer. You were right, Mr. Mutton. And we thank you for you allowing us to use your tractor. Now, I won't buy your saying, well, I'm a special guy and all that. I'm going to maintain to all of you, regardless of what you say, that I'm just a poor dirt farmer from Alabama. Living back in the woods where the blacktop ends. And that's a true story. Born in a little shack by a midwife. I had humble beginnings, and I've learned here at Fellowship to maintain my humility and understand that God is the one that's running the operation. He showed me so many times. You see, because I do my prayers on the tractor in the field. How else could George and I come up with the Oliver 1755 when we have a quarter in our pocket? Now this morning, I have a big dollar. That's all I got. And that's all we have. And that's the truth. And then Monica called. And so now I'm repeating myself. So that's what's happening to us, folks. And so that's what I want you to know. Now, you'll get a chance to meet each other when we have our reception. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful to the state of Indiana. I'm thankful for the recognition for us. I'm thankful for the recognition for us because we have worked at it. But you know, it's also symbolic of the work that farmers do. If you look at the fields around us, we're in Indiana, the Hoosier State, soybeans and corn. And I just got to thinking, we got so many soybeans out there, what are they going to do with them? We're going to have a glut of soybeans. So that's what's happening to them. But I want to thank all of you. I want to thank my family, my sons, my wife, my cousins. I want to thank all my sisters and brothers out there. You're all my sisters and brothers. In fact, there's one fellow back there, they thought that I was a Lashley. They said, well, man, you're a Lashley. You look like a Lashley. You're a Lashley. So, but I know where the Lashlys are from because I was in Alabama when your cousin had an untimely accident in the trailer.
Oh my goodness.
Read about Lashlys down in Alabama. So we try to make this a family, and it has worked. It has worked for us. And what we want to do in closing is to encourage other churches who have the land and the people to do something like this. We could talk about Brother Mitchell. We could talk about Mr. Kenny. Helpers, nurturers, people who, when we were gardening in the neighborhood, would invite the kids over for barbecues and make sure they would have their fluids and stuff like that. Now he's an ornery guy. He's an ornery guy, but that's what he does. And then this gentleman over here is a committed deacon in the church. And when we met 10 years ago at Pastor Peyton's house, He said, well, I want to learn something about this garden. So we did. There he is, restoring. So I thank all of you. I thank all of you. But I'm not going to accept the award without telling you that you have been my inspiration. Yeah. So what we've done is we've had it go back and forth. We've had situations move back and forth where we're actually motivating each other. Warren will say, well, man, I'm tired, man. I'll say, well, man, you look tired. You want to take a break. And so am I. I'm going to take a break too. We'll get back on it tomorrow.